Goodman, the creator of foundation training. I'm going to take you guys through a little 3-minute workout illustrating a few of our basic exercises to help you get out of pain and teach you to move a little bit differently. If you're in pain right now, this is one of the best things you can do for yourself, as long as it's back pain. What I'm going to have you do is the first exercise called a founder. You're going to stand with your feet about shoulder width apart, knees slightly bent, hips pulling back behind you with the weight on the heels. Really important part here. Lower back is going to be extended as you lift your chest up and pull the hips back. A big mistake a lot of people make here is by bringing their knees way too far forward. As soon as you do that, it changes the dynamic of the entire exercise. The weight has to stay back. The knees are going to be just above the ankles. If you look down and you can't see the front of your foot, way too far forward on the knees. Low back is braced, chest is high, keeping the weight on the heels. Slowly bring the arms all the way up, keeping that lower back braced as possible in this position. Lift the arms up as high as you can. Take 2 deep breaths. On that second breath, when you're exhaling, you're going to push the hips further back, keep the knees bent, keep your weight on your heels, and slowly stretch all the way down to the ground. This is the hinge point we're looking for, right here, right at the hip joint. Eventually, the lower back begins to bend, but only once you've pushed the hips back as far as you can. From here, pull the hips back, press through your heels, stretch the hamstrings by pulling the hips up and away from your hands. Take a big deep breath down there. Once you exhale, bring your hands to your shins, bend your knees a little bit further. Keeping the weight on your heels, I want you to extend your spine, bracing that low back, sliding the hands up to the top of the knees, keeping your arms straight. The chest lifting is what brings those hands up to the top of the knees. Keep the weight back on the heels, push the arms straight back behind you, opening the front of your body as much as you can. Go ahead and externally rotate your hands so the thumbs come out to the side and you're squeezing the shoulder blades together. Take a deep breath right here. As you exhale, slowly bring the arms all the way up. Again, lifting as high as you can. 1 deep breath at the top. A lot of pressure right here at the lower back. You should be fatiguing a little bit at this point. Arms up a little higher. Stand all the way up. From here, take your left foot forward and your right foot back in a long lunge. Very slight bend in that left knee. Right heel is pushing back behind you. Again, just like on the founder, you do not want to have that left knee come too far forward. Bring it forward. This is way too far. If you have pressure in the quads, you're already off balance here. Knees push back, hips are in the same direction, feet are in the same direction. Both arms go straight up over your head. You're going to interlock your fingers, turn your palms up and lift the arms as high as you can. As you're pulling back in extension, I want you to side bend away from that back leg. So in this case, you're side bending towards the left, reaching the arms as much as you can, opening the right hip to the right rib cage. Really long stretch on that right side. Take a big deep breath here. As you exhale, let the arms drop. Stand all the way up, bring that right foot forward. Left foot straight back behind you. Press the left heel back. Keep that right knee just behind the right ankle. Both arms go straight up in the air. Interlock the fingers, turn your palms up, pull back into extension. You're stretching away from that back leg again, towards the right this time, and pulling back the whole time. Again, we're looking for as much length and stretch as possible from the rib cage to the hip on that left side. Take a big deep breath here. As you exhale, go ahead and drop the arms, stand all the way up. This time we're going to have your feet a little bit wider, about shoulder width or maybe 6 inches wider than shoulder width apart. Knees bent, hips back. We're going right back into that founder position. Lower back is as braced as possible. Your chest is high. The whole front of your body is open and extended. Arms straight back behind you. Hips pushing back behind the heels without those knees coming across the ankles. Take a big deep breath in. As you exhale, lift the arms all the way up, keeping that tension right here at the lower back. Low back muscle should be trembling a little bit right now. Hips are back, slight stretch in the hamstrings. I want you to press your knees together slightly, just a little bit of pressure. Lift the arms up even higher, as high as you can go, isolating all of that pressure here in the low back. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, drop your arms. Chest comes all the way up and stand all the way up. The exercises we just taught you are going to teach you how to use your body a little bit differently. It's going to teach you to use the posterior chain, potentially the strongest muscles in your body, to absorb all of the force you're currently absorbing with your knees and your lower back. When you're doing this properly, back pain is going to go away, your shoulders are going to open up, your posture is naturally going to improve heavily. It's going to take a lot of the pain away, it's going to make you feel a whole lot better. It's worth your time to really check into these and look exactly how to do them. Take the time to learn to do them properly, practice them every day, and continue to get yourself even further out of pain. This is the back extension. This is going to teach you to do a very simple thing. Extend your back properly using the muscles that are designed to do it, allowing them to create enough strength to keep your back braced through all of the other movements you do in a day. You're going to go ahead and lay down on your stomach. Come all the way down flat. As you lay down, you're going to keep your feet down on the ground. You're going to bring the elbows back against your body, bending the arms, lifting the hands up off the ground. You're going to squeeze your shoulder blades together and down, pulling all that muscle down towards the center of the spine. A lot of people will hyperextend their neck here, trying to look straight ahead. Don't do that. You want to tuck your chin, pull those shoulder blades down, and keep that tense position. From here, the feet stay down on the ground. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, I want you to lift your chest, using those lower back muscles to lift and propel you up, and slowly, same speed as you came up, come all the way down. All the way back up. We're going to go about 10 or 12 of these for 3 rounds. I want you to go through a handful of these. You really don't need much recovery from them, and it really teaches those muscles to just stay tight, stay strong, and brace the spine so the joints don't have to absorb so much weight. After you've done a few rounds of these, try to progress the numbers, go to 15 or 20 reps, and just keep on rolling through these. They work very well for very quickly getting rid of pain. That's the back extension. All right, guys, so this is your personal foundation workout, just for you. Enjoy it. Fix up your back, get you guys a little taller, both kind of small. Bring your legs nice and wide. Slight bend in the knees, so you're not going windmill wide right there. Knees bent, hips back, arms back. Really pay attention here. Your shoulders are as open as possible. Your chest is high, your back is braced. You're going to press your chest a little further forward, pull the hips back just a little bit. Take a deep breath. Keep your weight back on your heels, and don't let your knees come forward. Don't let them come forward at all. Keep the knees right back behind the ankle. Slowly bring the arms all the way up in front of you. As the arms come up, you're going to feel that tension really increase right at the lower spine here. Press your chest further forward. Reach your arms out as far as you can. Push the hips back just a little bit more. From here, take a deep breath in. I want you to bring your arms across your chest, shoulders pulled back. We're going to go 15 good mornings right here. Pay attention to what's going on right here. Make sure your lower back is braced, and all of the movement happens at the butt muscle and hamstrings with a very braced back, chest high. You should be feeling a stretch in the hamstrings every time you push the chest forward. So keep going through 15 of these, keep rolling through it. Keep the knees slightly bent. Push the arms straight back behind you after 15. Bend the knees just a little bit more. Push the arms straight out ahead of you. Lift your chest high. Lift the arms up as high as you can. You're going to hold here as tight as possible for 10 seconds. Low back should be fried right now, really tight. Lift the arms a little higher. Go ahead and turn your thumbs down. Lift the arms up as high as possible. Hold right here 5 more seconds. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, just stretch all the way down. As you stretch down, both knees are going to stay bent. You're going to push your weight back on your heels. Walk your hands forward about 6 inches to a foot. Pull the hips straight back behind you, leaning all the way back behind your heels. Press through the heels. Press your arches down into the ground. Stretch your hamstrings as hard as you can. Brian, stretch your legs harder. Right there. Keep on pulling back. Your hamstrings should be trembling. That little tremble is what's making all the changes that we want to make here. Keep pulling back. Keep stretching harder. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, push back to the knees. Hands on the shins. Brace your spine as tight as you can. Arch your back. Push your hips back. Push the arms straight back behind you. Chest comes up. Low back up. Pull the shoulders down towards your butt. Lift the arms even higher behind you. Stay behind you. Really accentuating that upper back extension here. Take a deep breath in there. Slowly bring the arms all the way up without the chest coming up at all. Tight as you can get at the lower spine. 10 more seconds here. If you're shaking, that's good. Lift up a little higher. Tense up a little more. Press your knees together a little bit. Lift the arms even more. 5 more seconds here. Take a deep breath in. Stand all the way up. Exhale. Bring your right leg forward, left leg back. Watch your knee here. Your natural inclination is letting that knee come forward. Don't let it. So bend your knee to here. Don't let it come any further than this. Push it back just a little bit right there. Shoulders back, chest up high. You're going to stretch out that left hip flexor a little bit here. Both arms come straight up in the air. Pull slowly back into extension. As you pull back, I want you to side bend towards the right. We're opening up this left hip from the ribs all the way down to the hip. Let that hip flexor stretch as hard as you can. Both feet are in the same direction. Your hips are square. I want you to press up as hard as you can on the toes of the back foot. Only part of your body moving is just that back ankle. Press up and down about 10 times, nice and slow. You're going to get a big stretch on that left hip flexor as you're doing this, reaching those arms up as high as you can, pulling further back. Just keep pressing up as high as possible. After a couple more of those, I want you to let your arms drop. Open up your chest as much as you can. Bend that right knee just a little bit more. Keeping the spine braced, press your chest forward as far as you can. Don't let that knee come forward at all. All of that tension goes into the right hip, right hamstring. Lower back stays braced. Push the arms straight back behind you. Chest pushes forward a little bit further. Brace your spine a little tighter. Lift your chest up. Bring your thumbs out to the sides. The thumbs are going to come all the way out to the side. Externally rotate the shoulders and then pull the shoulder blades down towards your butt. Just 10 seconds right here. A couple deep breaths. Really open up. Create as much space at the front of your body as possible. Slowly bring the arms all the way up. Reach them straight out in front of you. Hinge forward as far as you can. Reach those arms all the way forward. Press through that heel. Bring the arms all the way up as high as possible. Right there. Not rotating yet. Lift up a little higher, Peter. There you go. Bring the arms back down just about 6 inches. You're going to slowly rotate out towards the right, keeping the chest high. You can do it either how Brian's doing it, just a static hold, or you can go repetitions about 10 or 15 times like Peter's doing. Either one's going to be really good for you guys. Just make sure the chest stays high, back stays braced, right hip is really tight. Press through that right heel, come back to the center. Bring your arms across your chest, shoulders pulled back. We're going to go 10 forward hinges here. Again, that right knee doesn't slide forward at all. All of the force happens at the right butt muscle, right hamstring, and the lower back is tight. The upper body is moving as one unit, no bending. Go through about 8 to 10 of those, increasing that stretch in the hamstring every time you press down. After about 10 of those, you're going to let the arms drop, chest up a little higher, come back to extension. Go ahead and stand all the way up. Let's go left leg forward, right leg back. Same thing here. We're starting off with that lunge stretch. Shoulders back, chest up high. Slight bend in that left knee. Don't let it come too far forward. Cyclists always want to get their quad to work for them. Don't do that. All right here. Pull further back into extension. Interlock your fingers, turn the palms up. Side bend towards the left. As you side bend, again, you're getting that opening from the right rib cage all the way down to the right hip flexor. Pulling straight back, lifting the arms up. You're going to press up on the toes of that back ankle. And again, just up and down a handful of times. The only part of your body moving here is just that right ankle joint. Every time you press that heel back, you're really stretching the fascia, all that connective tissue on that whole chain that affects the back, affects your posture, affects everything. So the slower you do this, the more tissue change you make, the better. After you've done about 8 to 10 of those, let the arms drop. You're going to press your chest forward as far as you can. Get that tension going to the lower spine. Chest stays high. Push the arms straight out ahead of you. You're going to reach out as far as possible. Build that tension into the left glute, left hamstring. Lift the arms up as high as you can. Push real hard into that left heel. Really tense up the spine, tense up the hips. Lift a little higher, Peter. There you go. Slowly bring those arms back down. And again, you can do it one of two ways. I want you to rotate all the way out to the left first. And you can either go repetitions, about 10 repetitions back and forth like Peter's doing, or just that static hold, really locking in right here. Getting that left glute and left low back to support your entire body weight here. Just keep on holding, keep the back tight, keep the chest high. Slowly come back to the center. Arms across your chest, shoulders pulled back, and we'll go 10 forward hinges here. All of that tension right here. Every time this is staying very locked in, back is extended, low back is tight, the movement is right there, right at that left glute, left hamstring. Shoulders stay back, perfect. After 10 of these, let the arms drop, lift your chest up, pull back into extension. Go ahead and stand all the way up. We're going to go real wide legs, wide as you can go. Even wider, Peter. Even wider, Brian. There you go. Knees bent, back braced, arms straight back behind you, right into that first founder position. Chest up a little higher. Push the knees back a little further. Keep your head up, Brian. Extend your spine, sit back on the heels. The butt muscles are really supporting your entire body here. Slowly bring the arms straight out in front of your chest, and you're going to press the arms forward as far as possible while you push the hips back behind you. Take a deep breath in. Challenge yourself here. 10 to 15 seconds as hard as you can. Lift the arms up a little higher. Your low back should just be trembling by this point. Keep on holding it. Take a big deep breath in. As you exhale, arms across your chest, shoulders pulled back. We're going to go 10 slow good mornings, pressing the chest down to stretch a little harder, pulling up with the butt muscles. Just like in that hinge on the lunge, you're using the butt muscles and hamstrings to support the entire upper body as it comes up. Shoulders back, chest high. Just keep on pushing into it. After 10 of these, push the arms straight back behind you. Chest goes even lower. Press the knees back just a little bit. Bring the arms all the way up without the chest coming up at all. Lift up as tight as you can. Take a deep breath in. As you exhale, stretch all the way down. Pull the hips back. Walk your hands forward a few inches if you'd like to. Pull the hips back. The whole objective here, weight has to be on the heels. You're pulling your hips back with the knees slightly bent. I want you to keep your right arm down. Bring that left arm all the way up in a rotation. You're going to rotate 10 full times here, bringing that left arm all the way back down. And again, you can kind of do that little bend that Brian's doing, or you can do the whole arm movement like Peter is. No matter what, make sure that torso is rotating, not just the shoulder. So it's not this. It's all the way open from the hips. As you pull back, you're going to feel that stretch really go high up into that right adductor, that right inner leg. Just keep getting in there. It's a big muscle for you guys. After 10 of those, you're going to switch sides. So that left arm is going to stay down, right arm comes up for 10 rotations. Same thing. Hips pull back, chest high, just rotate as much as you can. Real good. After 10 of those, knees bent just a little bit more. Hands back to the shins. Chest up, arch the back as tight as you can. The low back's not done yet. You got to work a little bit harder, about 2 more minutes here. Push the arms straight back behind you. Chest up nice and high, extend the spine, bring the arms across your chest. We're going to go 10 more good mornings here. Again, really get into those butt muscles and low back. Don't let your low back bend at all. If it bends, you're screwing up the exercise. Straight up and down, whole upper body is moving as one unit. After you've done 10 of these, push the arms straight back. Lift the chest up high. Bring the arms straight out in front of you. You're going to press your elbows together at 90 degrees. Palms touching. I want each finger pressing together as hard as you can. So each finger is squeezing. Palms are squeezing, elbows are touching. You're going to press up as high as possible. Don't let the elbows separate. If they separate, it's a silly exercise. It doesn't work. Keep pushing up 10 to 15 times through that full range of motion without letting the forearms separate. This is probably the hardest thing you guys are going to do. It's really worth it though, especially for Lance. Really worth it. Take a deep breath in. Keep the hips back. Arms straight back behind you. It's going to help your swim stroke a lot. Chest forward a little further. Take a deep breath in. Slowly bring the arms up as high as you can. Take a few seconds bringing them up. Get that tension right back into that spine. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, press the elbows together once more. We're going to go one more set of these. 10 lifts. Press the forearms together. 10 lifts right here. Don't let the forearms separate. Keep the fingers together. Keep going. If this is too hard to do the repetition, just up and squeeze. Arms straight back behind you. Take a deep breath. As you exhale, stand all the way up. Last thing we're doing is just one lunge stretch on each leg. Right leg forward, left leg back. You got it. 1 more minute. That's all we're doing. Right leg forward, left leg back, shoulders back. Bring both arms straight up over your head. Pull back into extension and just open up that left side. So you're side bending towards the right. Hold that. Big deep breath. Just open up that whole left side here. This whole area is lengthening. Come back to the center and switch legs. Left leg forward, right leg back. Shoulders back, chest open, both arms go straight up in the air. Pull back into extension. Side stretch, reach those arms up. Open up that whole right side from the heel all the way up to the fingers. Take a deep breath in, let your arms drop. Go ahead, stand all the way up. Shake it off a little bit. Do that every day. No back pain ever.